Good afternoon. No, it's still good morning. It's about a minute or two to 12. Dinner time, lunchtime, dinner time. And I just wanted to talk some shit for a bit. This morning, fine. Again, this morning work at 5. 40 minutes meditation, like half an hour or so reading. Psychology book. Good breakfast, not so cold this morning, so the bike ride was pretty decent. And then working here, this little reserve, Merry Creek Trail, which is very nice. And just been mulching pretty much all morning. Did a bit of litter picking, but primarily just forking, which I enjoy. We also had a news crew, two people from a news news channel, I don't fucking know. Probably a small little journal or some shit, and yeah, they just came and filmed a few of us working. Me, Zach and Jilly got interviewed, so I just answered some questions, so I guess I can reflect on that quickly, analyse myself. That was alright. I just got asked their background on myself, introduced myself, how I think this job is benefiting the Moorland community, which is my immediate community, so Nottinghamshire community, the same as that. Anyway, I can't think of the word. I'm not gonna try. So analyse myself. So I was a bit almost. I had a bit of not self-contempt, but I was a bit Luke, what was that? Because I didn't really speak that naturally. I mean, having a camera in front of my face, I do that now, but I haven't had someone else do that to me, interview me. I don't know if I've ever had that done. I think I felt under pressure. I spoke a bit fast. I stuttered a couple of times. And then I reproached myself afterward, and then I noticed that Jilly made these two women, made them laugh, and they weren't. It's just not important how attractive they were, but they made them laugh, and I just felt a bit I should have tried flirting with them. It was only very minute, but it was still there. I felt myself be I should have tried to make them laugh or been a bit more playful or whatever. And I thought I probably came across just as another computer scientist, because that's what I said in the video, my background. So that was that. Anything else to analyse? I don't think so. I just have this ideal image of myself where I'm actually that's it. She said after the interview, she says, "Oh, you're a natural," and I just said, "Oh, thanks." And I made a little joke about the bird. She said, "Oh, you're a natural," and I don't think it was genuine. I think she was being nice, like a parent would be to a child, "Oh, well done, you did a really good job." So I felt like it was a bit condescending, and that made me feel a bit belittled and a bit unworthy, I didn't feel like a man. It just belittled me. I felt like I should be somebody who's just completely nonchalant and blasé about these sort of things, rather than being a bit anxious about them or a bit under pressure, a bit stressed, and having people compensate for me, say, "Oh no, you did really good," because I really, really don't like that sort of shit, which says a lot about me, and says many things about me. I'm not going to go into detail now because I can't. I need to think about, I'd have to analyse what that says about me. Anyway, one of the reasons I wanted to do this video was to kind of justify my not doing a lot of things. So in the evenings, this weekend was actually stressful as fuck. Yesterday, Monday, the third day of no work, I was pretty fucking anxious. I was pretty damn stressed because I just felt like shit, because I felt like I should be writing, I should be programming, and then I said I should at least be reading. Then if I'm reading, I'm actually putting off the more important tasks of writing and programming. So I shouldn't be reading either, because that's just like a distraction. Eventually I ended up reading and actually feeling pretty good for just reading. I felt okay. I went to bed feeling not too bad, but so the way I guess I'm going to try to see it is like, just be productive in far as I can. I mean, because when I get home from work, or even on the weekends, like I have a whole day to do anything, so I could quite easily read and write, or write and program. But why do I think these are the best things? Well, because I've told myself I want to eventually become a freelance programmer, and also because I told myself I also eventually want to be an author and make all my money passively through authorship. But I don't know if these things will bring me happiness. I don't know if these things are what I really want. I've just told myself that, and they do sound very good. And I don't have to do like an hour a day and a couple of hours a weekend to slowly work toward these goals. So I'm like, well, why aren't I working toward these, like, you know, with with a fervent passion, you know? Why am I like getting anxious whenever I feel like I have to program? I'm like, maybe because it's creative, maybe because it's overwhelming, maybe the best thing to do is just to cut out a lot of stimulating things in my life and break down the big tasks of freelancing to just very small things that I can actually do each night. Maybe that is one thing I'll start to do. Maybe that is the answer, because maybe I do value it a lot. Maybe I do value these things a lot, but just like maybe they're just very intimidating. Maybe the intimidation of them is what is just constituting this resistance, which is, you know, like suppressing my ability to do these things, to strive toward these goals. So I don't know, but for now, I think I should be okay to just say, well, in the evening, just play guitar, just read and journal, and these things are good. And if you did 6 months of this, and you weren't as anxious, you were enjoying life, and because you were enjoying life, you weren't eating as much, so you were losing weight, and also you were reading, meditating, journaling, you'd end up being somebody who's in pretty good shape, who's might actually be enjoying life, who's more self-aware, who's more learned, and who's got a decent amount of money. Because otherwise, what could happen is I continue as I am, and I get more like neurotic and, you know, massive self-expectations, and I end up not writing, not reading as much, putting on weight, not enjoying life. Maybe I even quit the job out of anxiety, because I can imagine telling myself, like I did for my last job, the brain injury thing. I could quit my job and say, well, all I need to do is more time. I don't need the stress of work, and actually just need all my time. But that doesn't work, because I have no routine, I have no structure in my day, and I just get like, whoa, a bit overwhelmed. And obviously living in a hostel, it was hard to create such a structure. Maybe it would be a bit more possible living in a house, you know. But anyway, I'm getting off track. But you know, I could just, if I have these surmounting expectations to write a book and become a freelancer, and I could come home each night from work, feel like, I really don't want to program, you know, I feel like the resistance, feel anxious, overeat, go to bed late, feel shit the next day for work, rinse and repeat until I end up fucking imploding and quitting my job, or just hating life, or getting pretty depressed, just deciding to book a flight home. These things are definitely possible, honestly, because I know myself well enough to know that I'm disposed to do some of these things if I get stressed enough or anxious enough. So I think I should the idea would be just to buy a guitar. I'm thinking of buying a guitar tonight, an amp and stuff, just jamming and reading each night, and then starting learning to cook, because at the moment I just don't eat very, very diet at all. It'd be nice to start eating a few new things and whatever, So I'm moving to my new place the day after tomorrow. Shit. I'm a bit apprehensive about that. And yeah, at the same time, I was talking to Elliot a few days ago, and I don't look forward to anything. There's nothing I look forward to. Moving house, all I feel is like a bit apprehensive about living with Nico, because I don't know how we'll be together in the evenings. Like, we can talk and whatever, but it could get boring and pretty dull pretty quickly. I don't know how he'll be being on his own all day. Maybe he'll get pretty depressed and maybe a bit solemn and reclusive into himself. So I'll say I'm just apprehensive. There's not much I look forward to. What is one good thing is that I noticed yesterday or the day before, Saturday, whatever, I was actually missing. I actually missed mulching, like getting a pitchfork and forking bark, what we call mulch over here, what's called mulch over here. I was actually looking forward to that. I felt like the feeling of working. So yeah, it would be nice just to live a bit simpler. I noticed yesterday Martin, this Argentinian guy, he works 6 days a week and he works long hours on the weekdays. And Sunday he's just like, now I do nothing. He just sat there, just chilling out all day, talking to people, laughing, having a laugh. I was like, wait, he's actually earning good money so he can do it once later, and he's actually enjoying his life here, and he was like enjoying his work because he was in the air, you know. And then you can say, well, he might not ever have passive income or financial freedom or have these lofty goals. I'm like, okay, well, why do I really want these massive lofty goals if one, I don't have, oh yeah, I split my fingernail and I don't want to catch it because I have great fears about damaging my fingers, and ripping off a fingernail is one of the, yes, anyway. How do I know I want these lofty goals if all they do is bring me anxiety? And if I'm not like passionate, I'm not spontaneously striving toward them. If there's a lofty goal of like last summer, cycling to Athens, I was like, every day I was like, I'm fucking gonna get closer, it wasn't every day like that. It was just like I was enjoying the day. I was quite present, I guess, in that day. But the idea of going to Athens is like, that's something to strive toward, and each day was exciting. But now it's like a lot of the means to the end regarding freelancing and becoming an author. A lot of them are filled with anxiety. I think I'd be actually better doing them if I was in a more remote place, if I wasn't in a city surrounded by loads of people. Honestly, I do think my environment has a lot to do with it, and then obviously the overstimulation thing, and how these goals haven't been broken down into minute chunks, that also probably has something to do with it. So perhaps over the next month or two, as I hopefully become less anxious through work and through trying to take it easy and through moving house, hopefully I'll be able to start breaking these goals down and start working toward them, chipping away at them, and actually enjoying the work toward them. Because I think when I'm working toward them and I'm actually anxious during the work, and that just makes me anxious for the next time I'm going to work on that thing, If I'm working on something and I'm like kind of enjoying it, but I'm like, oh, I should be doing this, I'm getting a bit frustrated, then I'm not going to want to work on it again next time, If it always feels like work and there's no real passion in it, and I have to keep reminding myself of financial freedom, then when I eventually reach this goal of financial freedom, then, as I'm traveling and cycling, I'm gonna be thinking, oh, I'm gonna have to fucking find clients and do their work. It's not gonna be this beautiful dream as I had originally envisioned it to be. I could literally be cycling around Spain or something and go, oh, I'm at Barcelona, so I'm gonna do a week of work here. I might make a couple of grand, but man, I hate this work and working for clients and doing random shit, and I feel anxious that I'm not doing the job well enough. This dream might not be all that at all. I don't know if it's for me. And being an author, well, there's no guarantee of anything there. And when I force myself to write stuff I don't enjoy, it, and yeah, anyway. I think I made my point clear. I'm going to get some food. Goodbye.